Next level.
14 young people in 2 states hospitalized after vaping, health officials say. 14 teens and young adults have been hospitalized in Wisconsin and Illinois for breathing problems potentially linked to vaping, health officials in both states announced Friday. In Wisconsin, severe lung disease has sent 11 people to the hospital, according to the state's Department of Health Services. That's 3 more than, and in Illinois, 3 young people have been hospitalized for severe breathing problems after vaping, the state Department of Public Health announced Friday. Thomas Haupt, a respiratory disease epidemiologist with Wisconsin's Department of Health Services, said Friday that his state's cases were among young people. Otherwise, the lung disease looked like it was caused by an infection, but Chuck Warzecha, a deputy administrator at Wisconsin's health department, said that the majority of Wisconsin's cases were in the southeastern part of the state, said Haupt. In Illinois, Dr. Ngozi Ezek, director of the Illinois Department of Public Health, told CNN that her team has talked. As in Wisconsin, the Illinois cases included coughing, shortness of breath, fatigue, and sometimes chest pain that worsened over time, according to Ezek. The cases also, there were questions about the safety of vaping even before the recent hospitalizations. The American Lung, the organization points to research showing that key vaping ingredients may or dangerous. An expert committee of the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine that there is conclusive. Scientists are unsure how those substances may contribute to lung disease, if at all. But the committee said. Gregory Conley, president of the American Vaping Association, said that unless it is absolutely. He pointed to that described one hospitalized Wisconsin patient as having purchased THC oil on the street before his breathing issues began, according to his brother. But health officials have yet to identify any common cause across the incidents, and Haupt, the Wisconsin epidemiologist, said He said THC, marijuana's key psychoactive ingredient, is. Collecting information has been difficult, though, because He added that the state has been in contact with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and they
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.